I'm from a very small town, so I was one of few nerds, and connecting to other people with the same kind of interest just really, really talked to me.
You've been cosplaying for a while, right?
Yeah, I think last time I tried to check, I think I started in 2007, but it might be 2008.
But yeah, that's like 15 years.
Well, it's actually more.
Yeah, it's almost 20 years.
It's insane, isn't it? I'm like, how can that be? But yeah, I started with the very first costumes when I was about 14, 15. But my first cosplay convention was detour in 2008 or 9. Yes. Whoops. But it's a long while ago. It is.
So how many cosplays have you made?
Oh my goodness. So, you know, I make a lot of costumes quite quickly, like this one, which is a closet cosplay. And just a couple of years ago, I made 25 new costumes in 1 year. It's, of course, half of them were closet cosplays and just silly stuff, but I bet it must be over 100, must be.
Yeah, we have like two different aspects of the cosplaying world. We have those who want to be a character for a short while, and you have those that make cosplay for competitions.
Yeah.
And you're mostly the first one, right?
I would say so. I'm quite fond of making things, crafting things, but when it comes to cosplaying, it's often because some of my friends are like, oh, let's make a group. Oh, do you want to join this thing in a couple of weeks from now? So that's why I have such a high quantity of costumes. But every now and then I have some makes where I really put down the time and put down the effort to make it as proper as possible. But I have a problem with finishing my costumes, to put it bluntly. So I haven't competed in any of the craftsmanship competitions at all.
But
only
classic,
performance.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've actually never been in a proper cosplay competition until MagiCon this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Well, speaking of not being great at finishing things, it's really it's a chapter. It was probably the biggest technical build that I've done, and it was mainly sewing. And to be honest, I did not schedule my time right. But the main thing for that one, so at MagiCon, the duo competition, it's 60% stage show and 40% costume. No prejudging, so it all just had to be beautiful from the outside, on stage.
Yeah.
Nobody looking in on the seams.
Yeah.
So we put most of the effort into the actual set building, which is my area of expertise.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But when it comes to cosplay, even bigger builds, you do most of it yourself.
I do everything myself. Well, except closet cosplays.
Yeah.
Still mostly do that myself, but I find the making part the most fun. And speaking of the challenges with doing it as cheap as possible, doing it as fast, as simple, as silly as possible, it's literally been a thing where we went 100 Norwegian kroners challenge to make costumes as cheap as possible.
So going to free text, going to buying second-hand clothes.
Literally gluing things on top of other things to make it look. So one of my most iconic silly cosplays is probably my Sonic from One Punch Man, where all of the armor pieces are Pringles boxes. So it's just like really trash cosplay in the best kind of way.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I've seen that one, but it probably looks amazing. Like because it's like even though you do like cheap closet cosplay, it looks amazing. So
some of it does.
Yeah.
Some of it does, but don't look too closely.
Well, I really yesterday I had a panel about how to finish your cosplay and how to make sure you reach the deadline.
I should have been there too.
You should have been there. But one of the rules we have there that I try to live up to is the 5-foot rule.
Yes.
It needs to look great and readable at 5 feet or 1.5 meter. Because if you can achieve that, then it doesn't really matter because even though you see the errors because you've been like up close to it, people don't notice it, and
That's very true.
and all the errors also fade away because they look at the entire cosplay set and
Yes.
not the individual details.
That is very true, and it's one of the things that I really like about cosplay, where the whole package, the presence, the way you put yourself and your skills into it, it can be the same costume, but it can look completely different because of what things people find the most exciting about it. So for me, yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
I'm also, like, my actual vocation as a set builder, and I do props for stage, is what I used to do before the pandemic. Now I teach kind of inspirational coach ungt entreprenørskap.
Yeah.
So I do classes for children who want to put their ideas into the world and try their hands on small businesses. But backtracking, I worked a lot with the theater stage, things that are supposed to be there to bring something to the audience,
Yeah.
but so far away, there was no point in making it perfect on the inside.
No.
So-
But you have the opposite problem there, because you can't on stage work for the 5-foot rule. You need to work for the 50-meter
Yes.
rule. It has to be readable at 50 meters.
Very true.
So at least what I've seen when I've seen set builders is that when you get up close, the weathering is so over the top. So it looks like this looks like shit, and then you like go back into the seats, and I can see this.
It is so true, and this is where my mix between set building and prop making comes into
Yeah.
play, because a lot of the props you get a little bit closer to. It depends on what kind of play as well, but if it's a black box theater, you'll be a lot closer to what's happening, whereas the big things, it'll look stupid if you do it too detailed.
Yeah.
It'll just wash out.
First of all, we won't see it, and second of all, it's like you spend time doing stuff that won't be noticed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's quite fun, and I feel like I've been able to do more of the crazy stuff in cosplay than I've been able to do on stage, and the creative freedom of being able to choose what I want to do.
You mentioned earlier that you start with costume before cosplay, but
Yeah.
What started the costume making thing, and what would you say is a transition between costume and cosplay?
That is a very good question. I think I've always been quite happy with crafting things, and when I was quite young, I was like, oh, that thing from this movie, I want to have this, and just like making art, making weird kind of like ish props. That started quite young, but I didn't know what cosplay was until somebody told me about Desocon. So this kind of like, it took some of the hobbies that I was already doing and put it into a venue where you could also meet people with the same interests. I'm from a very small town, so I was one of few nerds, and connecting to other people with the same kind of interests just really, really talked to me. So I think it was like the whole package of what a convention was that really dragged me into wanting to portray more characters, showing off some of my skills, showing off my fandoms in a way that people could connect to. It gets a bit more antisocial when you work with props and things like that. If it's, especially for me, being a freelancer, mostly, it's something else. It is. But I think the first costume that I kind of like went, oh, I want to make this, was Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII. Specifically the Dirge of Cerberus shooting game. Awful game. But I just absolutely loved the aesthetics, and I really wanted to try my hands on making his gun.
Yeah.
So I sat there with like a Nerf gun, added a lot of like weird details to it. It looked quite good from far off, not so good up close.
That's like what happens, right?
Yeah.
So, but you touched upon something there, and it's the cosplay conventions or the cosplay scene being somewhere for other people to go, because in Norwegian culture you have the music playing groups, and you have the sports, the football, the handball, and all those kind of things. but there's really nothing for the nerdy people, the geeks, and the people that are left out in other social arenas.
Very true.
I really feel like the cosplay convention scene in Norway is really including for all people with all kind of social anxiety issues and stuff like that.
I feel like it's such a welcoming space where you're able to be yourself and connect to other people with the same kind of like weirdness or fandoms. And a lot of my early cosplay friends have gone into the creative industries. So it's quite cool to see that networking as well, in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here as a representative for one of the conventions in the south of Norway, Animanga, and it's so fun to see this as the perspective of an elder nerd, to see the young people just meet across both age, but also like across places in the community otherwise, and just connect over things that they are really passionate about. And it's, as you say, it's not many spaces where you can be so fully yourself without it having to be for some kind of like goal or...
Yeah, and it's also like a free space for the LGBTQ people to express themselves and be themselves without fear of judgment, because that's
very true.
It's Norway's progressive, where it's not a big. We are very open to say like that, but there's still stigmatism and like people being.
We do have, what do you call it, like the Bible Belt, and a lot of people who seem to think that progress is scary.
Yeah. But it's then nice to have this kind of thing where you have that kind of acceptance, where you don't feel like a freak. You don't feel like you're
a freak in a good way.
Yeah, fair enough. but that's also nice because, like in the what you call the Bible Belt, there is
the middle of it.
there are conventions that you can go to and have
I mean, it's quite fun to see as well that these things doesn't necessarily collide. Often it's a free space, as you say, for people who have felt a little bit, repressed, I guess.
Yeah.
And for me, it made me. I was quite shy, and I was very not confident at all. Shy is the wrong word, but I was uncomfortable in my own body in a way. That it's odd to think now, but as a 15-year-old girl, I did not fit in the beauty standard of my area. I was the only one with like any kind of tan, wrong kind of body shape for what was accepted / wanted in those days. And being in cosplay, being Wonder Woman for the first time actually, where people were like, wow, you look really good. Oh my gosh, you have muscles, wow, this, and having crafted that and having like put on extra makeup, right, to exaggerate the muscles and everything, it just felt really good. I felt, even though I was in costume, I felt comfortable with myself in a way that I've never done before. And same thing, seeing pictures of myself, seeing that, oh, I can actually choose to be this. I don't have to like hide behind layers of, I was that typical, you know, the emo kid with like the hiding in a big hoodie and like it's quite fun now that I've grown into something entirely different.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is because of cosplay.
Yeah.
Way more confident in my own body and with what I bring into the world.
Yeah, you exude confidence. So yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I'm like, what do you mean? But yeah, no, that's it's definitely something that I think the cosplay community gave me. Confidence and creativity in a way that I would have never been able to if I hadn't accidentally fallen into this nerdy stuff.
Yeah. For me, I also accidentally fell into this, or I was dragged into this by Magicon.
So Magicon a couple of years ago was your first?
No. The first Magicon.
Yeah.
They dragged me out and told me to have a panel.
Wow.
So that was the first time.
That's awesome. Of course.
After that, I've been in the artist alley for quite a while.
And you're really good at portraying what you do and inspiring people. So I mean, perfect that they pushed you out of the comfort zone.
Yeah. And I'm really happy about it because it's fun and it's a great
Yeah.
community. Going back a little bit, when you make cosplays, like, do you have any people that inspire you, or you look up to, or you wanna?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I've always been really fond of like people who go both deep into details and do skill sets that I could never. So there's quite a few people that I would say are kind of like my heroes, but especially Karri cosplay from Germany. Having been able to follow her with the things that she does, that's been a big inspiration.
Yeah.
But also a few Norwegians that I really look up to. And well, it's going to be fun if Christina sees this, but Chris X Design, the whole trash cosplay thing, making cardboard, she's been a big inspiration of mine. And especially with this, making it accessible, showing people how to do things, how easily you can make something without having a huge budget.
Yeah, but people are really thinking that if I make a cosplay, it has to be perfect, right? But no, just make something.
I am the kind of cosplayer that will wear something that are almost done, and then I'll add more to it along the way.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's too sad if you haven't received that kind of like perfectionist standard and then you don't want to use it.
Yeah.
But I do also have projects where I'm like, no, you know what? This needs to be more before I can.
Yeah. So what's your next cosplay?
My next cosplay is, oh my gosh, what is my next cosplay? You know what? I have not decided on my next big project. So I'm cosplaying only things that I have from before for BonsaiCon and for another convention as well, Animanga. I'm wearing something that I have. So next big project that I actually have planned is Sevika from Arcane. That is going to be like a build that I use a lot of time for. It's probably not going to be finished at least until late next year, if even then, because that one might be something that I want to try and compete in.
Remember, 5-foot rule.
Yeah. But with this one, Thomas, I'm going to go insane. I'm going to be dying down to the details, fabrics to like hit the spot. I'm going to have lights and functioning parts.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know, I dabble a little bit with 3D modeling as well.
Yeah.
I just haven't put my mind into really combining it into something amazing in a while.
If you need any help, please contact me and I'll share my info.
You know what? I am definitely going to bother you a little bit with that.
Yeah, please do.
Because just imagine being able to push the bottom and having the LED lights.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
So Sevika, I have kind of like done a closet cosplay of her as well, and I look gnarly. It's so fun. I quite love looking awful in cosplay as well. It's one of my favorite things when people are like, "What? Is that you?" So I think my most well-received cosplays are not the ones where I look pretty or beautiful. It's definitely ones where I look like an idiot, like Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls, or Rude from Final Fantasy VII, bald looking like Pitbull, or those kind of things. That's fun. So
you sound like you make cosplays pretty much on the fly, right?
Sometimes, yes.
What do you do when you're sitting there and you don't have the motivation or inspiration to make something? Do you just postpone it, or do you push through it, or what do you do?
That's a very good question. Often I have a deadline to hit.
Yeah.
So, for example, if there's a convention coming up, I have this like I call it my extra gear, where I can kind of like just put on my switch with like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna nail this. No matter how it turns out, I will do this. So I have that kind of like power through motivation.
Yeah, so when motivation is dead, you're just like, nope, it's not dead.
It's not dead. I'll
revive it and just
revive
like...
it. But it's often it is because of the friend group that I'm going to do something with.
Yeah.
I do actually have a bit of a problem to get started on those big dream projects like Sevika.
Yeah.
Because it's my thing.
Yeah.
Nobody else is like joining in on it, if you know what I mean. But very often it's especially Nika, hello, who is my kind of like, let's do this thing. And then I'll be like, yes, sir, let's do that thing.
Yeah.
Which is quite fun.
External pressure is a motivator. So
it's
one of the things that I talk about. Like, if you have some external accountability, that really helps.
I'm sweating about the word accountability, but yes. and it definitely helps the drive.
Yeah. I usually end these interviews or round them off by talking about your moonshot. Moonshot being a lofty goal, a dream, something you want to accomplish. Do you have a moonshot?
I do, kind of, and it's actually related to the Sevika one, because I have never done a kind of like I am fully committing to a competition kind of thing. And with that one, I'm not sure which competition, but I am going to try my hands on something proper. Probably not next year. That one I need to perfect.
Yeah.
But I have this vision in my head. I've found the perfect song. I need someone who can actually join me in getting punched. I did a little bit of kickboxing back in the day, so I want to do a proper weird, almost dancey routine with fighting.
Ooh.
And my kind of like set building in the behinds of it. And I don't think I'm brave enough to try out for the NCC yet, but definitely one of the proper cosplay competitions where you have to have people look on the inside of the costume as well.
Yeah.
Some sort of performance / craftsmanship thing.
That's going to be awesome to see.
But it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Big shots.
It's going to be awesome to see.
Let's hope.
As I said, contact me if you need any help on 3D printing.
I'm going to make you cry when I hit the button. Butt button.
Yeah.
Shoulder button.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Thomas. This was absolutely lovely. And it's really fun.
Thank you.